Chicken wing in the sky, craving a pizza pie. Take a look, we're too lazy to cook, eating rainbow. We can eat anything. Take a look, we're diverse as fuck, eating rainbow. We will eat everything. Take a look, we're too lazy to cook, eating rainbow. Eating rainbow. Eating rainbow. Eating rainbow.
Hey guys, we're back with Eating Rainbow. Make sure to subscribe and like and check out our Patreon that doesn't exist. Go ahead and check that out. You know, anything helps. Money. So here we got a pretty diverse group of people. That's what Eating Rainbow is.
We had to check some boxes.
Yeah. That's what Eating Rainbow is all about. So we had to just pull them off the street. We got this one from Home Depot.
Yeah.
This is one.
It's been a sad, lonely 2 weeks.
This is one. We got Vanessa here. She says this is the first time on camera.
It is.
Oh.
So happy to
We
be
got
here.
Mr. Danny Figure here. Look at him.
Hey guys, how's it
Our
going?
most diverse member here.
Oh, I was gonna say, you may have seen me on YouTube from the 2008 video, The Taxman Came Rapping.
Wow.
I remember that.
He remembers that.
Yeah.
Let's get to the food, huh, guys? So we got, of course, Costco's famous combo pizza, $10. Can't beat it. We'll talk about pizza maybe. Churros, we got 3 of them here. 2 chicken bakes, a couple hot dogs. Juan's gonna try out the chili and let's see how that works out for him. And of course, 59-cent soft drinks. Pop. Coke.
I couldn't afford that, so I'm just
You
drinking
can
water.
afford it. Let's talk about what section of LA is what. Like who lives where. We got, this is the 626 Alhambra, Monterey Park area, Chinese people. You'll get some sprinkles of Latino people and all that. It's mostly Chinese people. What else? Like Armenian people live in Glendale. That's a known fact.
That's huge.
Where else?
Well, 323 areas, I think, well, I wouldn't say it's the most well known, but, you know, seems like that's a bigger area because where I'm at, that reaches out even closer towards Alhambra.
Yeah.
But even when you're out in East LA, even farther than that way, it's still 323.
No.
You're 323?
Yeah. Yeah, it's still
And how do you describe that demographic?
all Latinos.
Yeah.
I see majority Latinos. When East LA, when I was growing up, East LA was just mainly strictly Latinos and not just pure Mexican.
Yeah.
There was never any like other diverse Latinos around the area, but now everything's kind of more gentrified a little bit. There's now more Starbucks, there's now more like, you know, McDonald's everywhere. So
Is that good?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I haven't visited East LA in a long while. Usually when I would go there was always these mom and pop shops. You always just go and know that person. But now, me going to McDonald's, going to Starbucks, and everyone's just going in and out. No one really talks to each other anymore. It's just, that's it. You know? Yeah. I mean, I've seen other diverse groups in East LA now, especially where I'm living at. It's mostly Asian too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right in East LA.
But I think it's still known.
To be usually like Mexican, a little bit Latino. Like my cousin who's
The Cholos?
yeah, you'd be surprised a little bit, but I think they just moved a little more farther out.
I think we talked about this once. Do Cholos like still
Exist?
exist?
I mean, they do, but they're not. It's not as common to see them as you would have. Like.
Describe a Cholo for us, for those who don't know.
A cholo is a I don't want to describe
What is it?
in a
What is it?
stereotypical way. Like,
Well, what is it?
Well, if
Directly
I may
translate.
jump in, isn't
Yeah.
it true that cholo is just an alternate pronunciation of churro? They're the same
Which is
thing,
why we brought
right?
these guys. Yeah. I mean,
I don't think
maybe you
so.
could jump in.
right?
Yeah.
Well, like maybe you could jump in on it, but I don't know. Like cholos right now, usually main stereotypical way you normally see them, especially if you've seen like videos of like I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of them recently, but usually wear saggy pants, a really big white shirt, and they usually have Bald heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a goatee.
With a bandana,
Heavily
maybe.
And a goatee,
tatted.
yeah.
Bandana, like maybe a flannel top button,
Yeah, that's
right? Is that
yeah.
is that old school?
I feel like that's like the stereotypical cholo.
They kind of evolved
Like
from
that's
that.
what people dress as for Halloween if they're gonna
Yeah.
make a cholo.
Yeah.
The bandana is the like what do you call it? Cherry on top of like a Halloween costume because
Yeah.
you don't see cholos
Yeah,
with
I
bandana.
don't think I've ever seen cholo with a bandana. It's always like white t-shirt, Dickies,
Cortezes.
Cortezes,
You gotta have
or
Cortezes, man.
Converse, long socks.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's your cholo.
What does cholo directly translate to? What does that mean?
I don't know.
It's just a
Yeah.
word.
I think it's just like a word.
It just became slang.
Yeah.
Like it's not really like a abbreviation of anything else.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's cholos who are actual like I'm in a gang like MS-13,
Yeah.
18th Street.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that you want to steer clear from.
Right.
You know that those are like the really scary ones.
Yeah.
They'll murder you. And then there's like the wannabe cholos.
Yeah.
That they belong to a crew.
It's just
They're
the culture that they want to be part of.
Yeah, yeah.
But you
Like-
just, yeah. go ahead.
Like in my high school, there was a bunch of wannabes. I
Yeah.
would call them, where they thought they were in a crew, where they wanted
They
to
just
be
want to act
tough.
hard and thug and
Yeah, and it's like, why would you want to be that? Why would you
Yeah.
aspire to be, like the stereotypical?
Cause I'm hard, man.
But you'd be,
Take your mama's purse.
you'd be surprised though, like how many of them don't really stand. Like for the hardcore cholos, like
No.
you're saying MS-13, like they don't stand out. Like they're just quiet about everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, you mostly hear them after police do like major raids on a neighborhood. That's it. But it's like those who like walk out casually are the ones that you're right. You want to be that.
Yeah.
You know, those that think that it's okay to walk out and dress like that.
Now, I'm just asking for a friend,
Uh-huh.
but hypothetically, if one wanted to go from being a wannabe to an actual cholo,
Yeah.
like, is there a certain initiation? Is there something I
You-
can...
From what I've known, it's like you get jumped in. They'll like basically beat you up.
Oh,
They beat you up.
like whether you like it or not.
They want to see like your
Oh,
endurance.
tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically that.
There's different ways of doing it. I mean, yeah, jumping is one way. Other than that, they take you, they're like basically, I mean, I don't know out of experience, obviously I've never been affiliated with that. Or like I have family members who have. And they always make them do something
Really?
that
So
proves there.
So you know you have family member cholos.
One or two. Not as much, yeah.
Okay. And they're like deep in it.
Well, the one cousin that is affiliated with that
Yeah.
was at a certain point. I mean, don't really know much of the details, but at some point, like he just kind of fell off the radar because he was having trouble with, where he was at.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
this is
world.
what I'm fascinated by. People that have grown up in LA.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, you hear a lot of worse things. I think even it's almost like if you're telling people like don't go to like Juarez, don't go to TJ or Mexico because there's a shitload of gangs.
Yeah.
For many years, people say the same thing. Like, don't go to this part of LA because you're gonna get jumped or something like that. Like, no, it's not. It's not really true.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, there's incidents, but you're not. It's not gonna happen.
Los Angeles is an equal opportunity place. You can get jumped anywhere.
Where have you gotten jumped?
um,
You get jumped in Alhambra too.
the closest that I've had was relaxing at a Starbucks in Beverly Hills, and a crazy person ran up and grabbed the table and screamed "fuck you" at my friend, and then just walked off.
That's like the scariest. And Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Well, I mean I had to attend therapy for a while, but
Oh,
Serious stuff.
and no, like the craziest thing that probably for me personally was when I got robbed.
Yeah.
But about like 6 different. I don't even say cholos too because they didn't dress the part.
Yeah.
They were just there. Stopped by in the van. It was me when I was in middle school. It was me, my twin, my sister, and then my mom. Like she was walking us home. They just parked right in front of us, right in front of our way, and then they all came out and they're all like, hey, you got anything in your pockets? You got anything valuable? And we're like, no. Everybody.
You told me about that.
Yeah. There was this only one guy. So I realized these guys were a bit incompetent though, because they would just casually go up to me and be like, "Hey, dude, you have anything? You have a phone?" I'm like, "No, dude, sorry. I had my iPod on me and my phone."
Yeah.
So like,
They
and
just
then
asked
they
you
just-
what you had.
Yeah, and it's like, Oh yeah.
So you have this. Can I steal this from you? Can I steal that from you? Do you have
So they'll ask that, and I'm
you
like,
know what? You have one of those diamond rings that I can steal from you? Can I have one?
They sound very polite, at least.
they were polite. The biggest dude there, he was like, "Hey, dude, you have a phone?" I'm like, "Nah, dude." I'm saying, "Okay, that's fine." All right, he walked away. Only the scariest part was there's one guy, I guess the one who led the entire group. He was trying to. My sister was trying to fight him because he was trying to steal her iPod Touch. Something like that.
Fighting him off?
She was trying to fight him off.
You didn't have any weapons on him,
Can I
or
have a
No.
napkin?
yeah.
What is that one? No, we didn't have any weapons. As far as I know, I don't think they have any weapons either.
Mhm.
But my sister was trying to take back her iPhone or iPod
Yeah.
Touch around the time. And then he was trying. I didn't know that was going on because I was busy being interviewed by everybody else, casual interview. So then,
I see.
when I saw it, I just heard my mom telling her, "Let it go, like just let him go." And eventually, he did grab the iPod. They jumped back in there because this one guy, thank God, this neighbor that we knew, he's really cool. He was walking his dogs and casually made his way towards us to like scare them off. Eventually, you hear him. The one guy is trying to find my sister. They're all driving off, and then he's like, "I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna fucking kill this bitch." So my sister, I'm gonna kill her. And so we saw them do like a U-turn, and so we went inside the high school. We like just casually walked in there, kind of hid there for a bit, and called the cops, and that was it.
Well, maybe he wouldn't have said that if she didn't have Carly Rae Jepsen in the library.
I think she had too much NSYNC in there, that's why. Oh yeah, it's all cool.
Have you gotten into danger
With Cholos?
with any thug or thief?
She is the danger.
Yeah.
Well,
she's the one doing
Exactly. I punched the guy in the face and I like took his wallet and his watch.
Scratch his face, dog out his eyes, yeah.
No, I haven't.
Good thing. Lucky.
I feel like I've been fortunate enough to live in an area where I haven't seen violence.
Mhm.
I live in the border of like Hollywood and Koreatown. So Koreatown, I feel like it's where most of like 18th Street and like MS-13.
Hmm.
That's where I would say I've seen them. I've
Yeah.
known about them
Yeah.
being there. But no, I haven't like. I think the worst I've witnessed is like someone getting kidnapped in front of my house.
Oh wow.
That was like a couple years ago, and I think
Was it a kid or like a?
it was a
an
girl.
adult?
It was a
You
girl.
saw this.
I didn't see it, but I know she got kidnapped right in front of my
Oh.
house.
The word got around
Oh,
quick,
shit.
right?
Yeah,
okay.
and then like the scariest thing I've like gone through is one time I was going to school. It was like my first year of college. I was going to school. I was walking to the bus stop. I was meeting my friend at the time, and a guy comes out of his car
You know.
and just like exposes himself.
Oh man.
That was like
Wow.
scary.
Okay.
It was just because what you know what's his intention? What is gonna
Yeah.
happen right now? Just like ran to
What?
the bus
Yeah.
stop.
What is the point of that?
Look at it! Please!
He emotionally exposed his heart.
Yeah.
He told you his feelings.
Yeah.
Is that what?
I don't
It's
understand.
very vulgar
It was
part.
scary.
very
I don't
bad.
understand the point of that.
Yeah, I guess usually you want to ask permission
It's-
before you just lay it all out for someone.
Well, that's how they get off, dude. That's it. It's like, you know.
Well, because like, yeah, what's their goal, their end game? Because like, are they expecting you to be like, oh man,
Yeah. Oh my God. Let me
I
get
want
in the
you.
car.
I want you so bad now. You know, wiener? Yeah.
And then another time where I thought I was gonna get kidnapped, there was like I was pulling up in the corner, like I was walking, I was in the corner, and then a car like just swerves right in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, I went into shock,
Yeah.
but I didn't
Yeah.
move. I was just
You can't
there,
process it.
kind of
Yeah.
like waiting, like,
Oh.
am I gonna get kidnapped? What's going on?
Yeah.
Then I crossed the street, and then I was just like, wow, that was like a really scary moment.
But
You
they
know,
pulled
considering-
right in front of you?
Yeah, like literally right in
And they
front of
left. They
me.
didn't do anything.
No, they stayed there. It
Oh.
was two guys. And I got scared. I
Yeah.
was like, what's gonna
You
happen?
got
And I
out.
just like walked like quickly after.
Don't take it personally. You probably just weren't their type.
Probably that's why they like looked at me and they were like, no, get out.
But
Yeah.
I think we all fantasize about if anything like that happens, what would your move be? What would you do to get out of the situation? What
Yeah.
you have a thing planned in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important. You got to rehearse stuff like that. Otherwise, a lot of people do freeze.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you said.
What's your thing?
Huh?
What would you do?
Well, I've heard one thing you can do is if you just act crazier than them, then sometimes that can scare people
I
off.
thought about that. Yeah.
But that's not always necessarily going to work well in Los Angeles, where there is a large population of actual crazy people.
Yeah.
So almost
They might take it the wrong way and think you're trying to compete in the crazy department, and they might try to step up their game.
Yeah.
What if it was just a normal person?
I mean, I guess like one time I was at a club seeing Paul Oakenfold perform, and some guy came up to me and said that I put my finger in his drink, and
Did you?
Not that I'm aware of. So I probably did the wrong thing, which was try to like fight him, but luckily he said no. Probably because he knew that he would kick my ass and then have to deal with the fallout of that.
What do you want to do?
I mean, I've had several moments like that, nothing too extreme. I think, no, literally just before I got here.
No.
You were about to get jumped?
No, I wasn't gonna get jumped. I was scared that one of those two. I was scared that any one. I was scared any one of those was gonna happen. But we just come out of the theater, right?
No.
And so I was like, okay, you went that way, I went this way. And I went over here, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut the alleyway between the theater and whatever restaurant was in. I'm just gonna go straight ahead. And I see these two guys coming towards me, and I'm on my phone. And then they're all like, oh, can you, like, do you know where this gym is? I'm like, yeah, well, no, I mean, like, I don't really know what this gym is. I don't know what it's called. And he's like, oh, it's this address. He's like, and then he sees me on my phone. He's like, can you put this on your phone, like, right now? And I'm like, okay. And so I'm looking on the maps, and he's, like, peering over, and I'm like, this guy's just trying to rob my phone or something.
Right,
I'm pulling
right.
really tight on this thing. So then they're all like, oh, yeah. I'm like, hey, it says it's, like, right here. Literally, like, a couple feet away.
No.
It's just right there.
No.
And I'm like, if you guys just go straight that way, make a right, it's gonna be right next to you. And then he's like, okay. And then I guess it was like a dad and son, but the son was like, oh, can you mind following us while we're going over there? I was like, what? And I'm like, what? I'm gonna go somewhere else. I don't really need to be going where you're going, but you know, all right. And so I'm like slowly walking behind them, and then they're like talking amongst each other, and I realized that they kept walking towards my pace too.
Yeah.
And I told them, okay, I'm gonna be over here because my car's like right here. It wasn't really there, but I was like, I'm gonna
Bye.
make my over here, bye.
Yeah.
And then the dad was super nice. He was like, okay, thank you, but the son just kept staring at me as I kept going over there.
On your phone.
Yeah, because I wanted my phone or something else.
If I ever get jumped, the thing I want to do, I just imagine this every time when I get mad at this imaginary thug in my mind. I just want to sweep their legs and they fall on their head. I was like, and I just like pull them by the legs and they go, and they crack their head.
And when it bleeds out too, that feels a lot better.
That's what I want. Because you shouldn't be messing with me and asking me directions.
Or the
Please.
time.
Yeah, don't ask me.
But like, okay, wouldn't you be afraid? This is my fear. If I'm defending myself, I know like it'd be self-defense, but like, what if I killed them? I feel like that's my fear. Like I could not live.
How you would process killing them, like after that, like.
Yeah.
No, like
or
what are her repercussions?
That's why.
Yeah,
she's
yeah, that's what
processing that.
yeah, that's what my fear is. Like I was talking to Frank, who's a security at our job. We could bleep that out after. And I was telling him, you know, what could I do if I was getting attacked or whatever. He's like, well, you got the nails for it, just stick them in.
Gouge their eyes,
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, like that would be a good idea. But then it's like, I would feel so bad. Like I took
While you're doing
I'm
it? Sorry!
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I don't mean to do this, I mean to do this,
It just, I don't know, I feel like I just have, like, I would just
But
feel
don't you think you
bad.
feel less sorry than being in the hospital later with
Yeah, that's
broken
true.
bones?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah,
like,
you're-
the severity of what they're trying to do to me. If they're trying to take my phone, go ahead, take my phone. You know, I'm not gonna like scratch your eyes out.
Yeah.
Or
Desperate times calls for different measures, and so
Yeah.
they're gonna take an item and let it go. But
Yeah.
if they're like literally trying to
like if it's my life, like they're gonna kidnap me,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you know.
Just
gotta do
do
it.
the eye thing. You're not gonna kill them.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just don't want to get.
You're just
eye juice.
inconvenience their life.
I just don't
You
want to
want to
get
give her
eye juice.
eyes juicy.
I just don't want their eye juices on my
Like
in my
gross.
fingernails. I hate that. I hate
Yeah.
I have to pick it out.
Just wear gloves when you go.
You gotta pick out the iris that's deep in there.
So see if you can get gloves from the Black Panther costume that already have the claws built in.
Oh.
They have these
Oh.
gloves that you wear
Yeah.
for gardening. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've ever seen that video. You can garden with
Oh, I
them.
would say no.
But yeah, that would be my move.
That's your move.
Mine would just be run away because I like to think that I'm a
And scream?
Flash. So
Run and scream.
I've heard there's a psychologist guy, Darren Brown, who has a bunch of Netflix video specials, and he says that if you throw somebody a real oddball statement, like just totally out of the blue, sometimes that can make people freeze up for a second because their brain's trying to process it. So if someone says, "Give me your wallet," and you respond by saying, "No, my garden wall is not 6 feet high."
No.
So, according to him, that'll give you enough
It'll
pause that you can
confuse
run
them.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their brain's trying to. How does A and B
Connect,
relate?
yeah.
As far as confusing them, I think we talked about it earlier about just acting super crazy. I don't know how much that would work. Maybe I'd have to try it first. But
They want to take your phone, just strip butt
I was just
naked
thinking,
and
yeah,
run
just
after that.
strip and start eating the leaves that are nearby.
Well, I say we test it out. Like, let's do like a 2 seconds of like do like a crazy response here. I'll start.
Okay.
That's gotta be your next. That's gotta be your next pick. You're gonna be part of that.
I was thinking also, what if you're just super honest with them? You're like, and you're just having a terrible day. Just be super pissed. You're like, they start like, give me your phone.
They
You're
get-
like,
they-
stop it! I don't want this today. I got fired.
They catch
Too relatable.
Brandon too soon. Too soon,
Okay,
Brandon. That's too
to
soon.
make those jokes.
Yeah, they catch me during rush hour coming out of work. Yes, I will beat the crap out of them and be super pissed because I just had to wait like 2 hours in front of a fucking bus.
Yeah.
That'd be my pick.
Okay. Let's change topics.
All right, let me try these beans first.
Yeah, let's try the
So we have one here. He is a professional Mexican. He eats beans like every day.
Yes,
Are you Mexican?
I make them. I don't burn them. That's why I'm a professional.
You're
So-
Mexican though, right?
We
Yes,
got
I'm
these
Mexican.
Costco beans, chili type of thing. So
Oh shit! it's
like
not-
his eyes immediately just like lit up. He's so happy to be eating them. So.
Dude, it's like the
Please
it's like
give
seeing
me-
it's like seeing heaven, dude.
We actually call him
Exactly
Mr.
what that is.
Bean behind his back.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mexican
too, look, man.
All the Mexican topics. This is why I'm professional. Because after these beans, I'm gonna get even more professional. Okay, so.
So go ahead.
All right. I can't find a bean.
Is that a finger?
It's a finger.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a-
yeah. All right. I wish I had tortillas with this thing.
Wasn't there an actual finger in a Chili's at like?
At
some-
Wendy's.
Wendy's,
Yeah,
right?
Wendy's,
Yeah, she
yeah.
ended up
Yeah, I
putting her own
think
finger.
it was her own finger.
Yeah, yeah.
Says the
Or
guy.
someone, no, they found a finger. Well, she
Alright.
found one. and put it in.
All
Or
right,
it was
guys.
her own finger.
I'll let
Says
you
the
know.
guy who ate Wendy's yesterday.
I did it when they said it.
Okay, go
I mean, I never tried this before, so let's see. Let's see if this is Mexican worthy.
It's not. It's not.
I mean, it's good. It's good. It's just not Mexican.
Enough.
It's not Mexican enough. I think it beats Taco Bell though.
I feel like anything beats Taco Bell. If you're eating Taco Bell.
Anything
go
beats Taco
for it,
Bell.
So.
For those of you who voted Taco Bell for like the best Mexican restaurant in
You guys
the
are
U.S.,
crazy.
you guys are stupid.
Well, Chipotle's the best. You don't say Taco Bell.
Not even Chipotle.
Taco
Chipotle's not
Bell's
good.
the second best. And then I got the chicken, and I got the chicken ball. That's what I got. Chipotle.
Okay, here's what you do. You're gonna put a label on this thing right now while I put a thumbs down on this and just say not Mexican approved. There you go.
Not good.
Not good. But I'm still gonna eat it though because it's kind of good.
Well, I'm Mexican too. Look at me.
Not Mexican worthy though.
Is this real Mexican food?
That is.
I'm partially offended, just a little bit.
That I said that, or that
No, both.
this exists.
Well, I'm not gonna blame the Costco churros because they're pretty good.
Oh. Very good.
But on I bet churros on Commerce and Whittier Boulevard. Those are churros.
Oh.
I want pizza, but I'm like super full.
Here, come on.
You
this
have
up.
to eat it.
I am
This is
gonna
a
eat it.
mukbang.
Now Taco Bell's been making
Why that
waves in
I don't
the
know. I honestly
Mexican
don't
food
know.
industry.
You don't do that when you get a pizza and you're sharing with people. You just go down the middle.
Sorry, it's just too far for me to stretch that way. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna grab
Food
this one here.
Alright.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
So Taco Bell's been making waves in the Mexican food industry by doing these mashups where they take brands like Doritos with the Locos
Yeah,
Tacos,
yeah.
and they kind of are almost using like the YouTube remix culture, but in a culinary artistic aesthetic. So I was wondering, do you think the traditional Mexican food is going to try to emulate this at all? I mean, because they've been very successful with these products.
Here's the thing. There's some Mexican food items, some Tex-Mex stuff that's not truly Mexican.
Yeah, made by Americans,
Made-
white people.
Yeah.
That, will like the
The audacity.
carne asada fries from San Diego.
Right.
Yeah.
The audacity to caucasity. But I mean, talk about just sex in general as a Mexican place.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, can you hear that or no? We're saying Taco Bell is not Mexican worthy.
No, it's definitely
No,
not.
it's not.
It's not even like.
But I still
Real
see like Mexican people there buying things.
Because you get it faster.
And Chipotle too. But I'm guilty too. I go to Pan Express all the time. I love Pan Express. What?
But would you call Pan Express like an actual Chinese
Legitimate Chinese food.
food?
Yes.
There's a side promotion.
It
he's
is
getting
in-
paid. He's getting paid right now for this.
It is and isn't.
Sponsored by
Yeah,
Pan
sponsored by Pan
Express.
Express. Little logo here somewhere.
Well, no, it is and it isn't because a lot of the time when I go there is like a Chinese guy making it. Next to the Mexican guy, of course.
It's called aesthetic.
One
man.
time
it's
I
called
went.
aesthetic.
One time I went to Pan Express and I tried to order in Chinese. They thought it was like a foreign language or something. I was like,
Here's the thing. Try ordering Chipotle in Spanish. Dude. Try ordering Chipotle in Spanish. Like
that's the only way to do it.
Sounds like a good viral YouTube stuff.
Well, this brings up a really interesting topic. Okay, so we all know, in this case, you, me, and Vanessa, we normally have a second language. So if you guys are ordering something,
Yeah.
like if you're going to a Chinese restaurant, do you automatically just want to speak English to them, or do you feel like you have the nerd talk Chinese, or in this case for me, just Spanish to them?
Well, I'm kind of. We talked about this in the first episode. I'm kind of whitewashed. So I mean, I understand Cantonese completely, but it's not what I think in. I don't think in Chinese, so it's not the first language that comes to mind. It's English.
What's the first language that comes to mind for you?
Just Spanish.
Well,
It depends on where I'm at.
What did you learn first?
I learned Spanish first.
Okay.
I was put into ESL because of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after when I learned English, I forgot Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
My parents sent me down, made me watch novelas, and that's how I started learning Spanish again. So I'm in the middle right now, but it depends on where I'm at. If I'm in East LA, for sure, yes. I usually have some nerve to talk in Spanish.
Yeah.
If it's a gentrified location, like if I do see McDonald's or Starbucks or something like that, I will speak in English.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of weird sometimes because even we've been working, there's always that family that has the accent, and sometimes I'm like, they're kind of struggling with their English right now. I'm like, not sure if I should keep continuing talking English
Yeah.
or convert to Spanish.
Right.
Because I remember one time I did that when I was working with my parents,
Yeah.
and they said, and they're all like, we don't want to talk in Spanish. Like, you have to talk to us in English.
Really?
They got pretty offended. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think they just wanted to.
Because you were
Learn.
assuming.
Yeah.
What I do is like,
Assuming, yeah.
like for example, where we work.
Yeah.
If I get like people that are talking amongst themselves in Spanish,
Yeah.
and they're like, trying to figure out what they're gonna do, then I talk to them in Spanish just because it'll help them
Yeah.
if they're confused on anything. But usually, if I go to a place, like let's say I'm ordering food, and I know that person speaks Spanish, like I could
Yeah.
hear their accent. I
Yeah.
talk to them in Spanish.
Okay. So you,
Yeah.
you go there pretty easily. You'll
Yeah.
Go, that's one of your.
Yeah, because my first language is English. I
Okay.
learned English first.
Yeah.
Just because my dad would always talk to me in English. And
Okay.
then I got Spanish from watching novelas.
Okay.
So I feel comfortable with my Spanish.
Yeah.
That's why I speak it. But
Because in your household they still kind of.
I speak Spanish with my mom.
Okay.
I think that's the only person that I speak Spanish
Okay.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not your brother.
Not my
That's
brother.
fair.
Like, have you guys heard him speak Spanish?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's.
He's like really bad at Spanish.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Oscar.
Yeah, sorry, Oscar,
So
if
you-
you're watching this.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's the type of person like he'll like. I feel like he'll avoid Spanish at all costs.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I have family members who are trying really hard to just speak pure English, and kudos to them. Like, yeah, that's important. But I think when we're all in the family together, and the majority of us speak Spanish. Acknowledge the fact that you're speaking Spanish because they'll just be like, well, I'm trying to learn English. I can't talk to you in Spanish.
Yeah.
And then at some points they'll just as a joke all the time they'll be like, oh, I don't get what you're saying, and it's like, bro, like exactly what I'm saying. Like literally saw you grow up talking
That's
Spanish
weird.
to me, Yeah, it's offensive for you to say like, oh, I can't learn any Spanish because I have to be dominant in English. Like it's just.
Well,
really
I can at
offensive.
least understand there are immersion programs. That's a big idea with a lot of language. You want to really try to force yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, but that's important. Yes. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's that for you. That's to try to force yourself to really hone down English. That's fine. But to just completely push aside Spanish and saying that
to
it's
like reject your roots.
Yeah.
Is basically
and kind of treat it as a crutch,
feels,
as a
right?
crutch to your progress. Like
Right.
that's not it. Yeah.
Well, when I'm at restaurants, I always try to order whatever the name of the item is, even if it's in another language, and I usually find that the waiter or waitress appreciates the effort, and then usually will correct me, and
Well,
maybe has a little smirk.
Do you normally order at Taco Bell in English?
I do have the Doritos Locos Tacos.
And things just sound more appealing in a specific language.
But I feel like, okay.
Well, do you do the thing? I don't know what you call it, but you're speaking in English completely. But once a Spanish word comes into the word, you use the accent to pronounce it that way.
As a Latina, what do you mean? Like, do I pronounce
If I were to say anime.
Like even by street names, right, or location names. There's San Gabriel Valley. Do you say San Gabriel or say San Gabriel?
San Gabriel.
Okay.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Or like sake, which might be more technically correct, but some people might be offended because it's like you're acting like you're Japanese when you say that.
Yeah, and I feel like
White
that's like when white people
they love that.
say they try to pronounce things like with the accent. Like if you came, like if I was an employee at Taco Bell and you told me Doritos, I would be like you're trying to offend me. Like,
See?
I take it as like racism.
But
Even though you're trying to just
but
be
white
polite.
people feel more inclined to do that. They can't do that as easily in Chinese or in Asian language.
No, you'd be surprised. Here's the thing. So when I used to work with my dad, we always used to clean a bar over not too far from here. We cleaned a bar at 5 in the morning, and there's always one guy who would, when they dumped out cardboard boxes, he would try to recycle them.
Mm-hmm.
And he was Asian. Mm-hmm. And every single time he saw me, because at that same time I would always be out grooming the outside of like the parking lot of that bar. So then he would come up to me, and every single time he'd try to talk to me in broken Spanish, he would just be like, "Hola amigo, ¿cómo estás?" And I'm like, listen, bro,
I
like,
saw this before.
I'm like, I understand where you're coming from. I understand you're being friendly, but that's not the only way I'm going to understand you right now. I could talk in English.
Bad. I've seen this before. I was on the bus, and because of road, they were locked to detours, right? So we had to pass the stop. So this Chinese lady, she noticed that. She freaked out. She went to the bus driver. He's like, "Hello, amigo, you don't want to stop, amigo." She kept saying it over and over. I was like, "Stop, please." Sorry, guys. I just apologize to everyone on the bus. Sorry.
Yeah, she really.
I'm not with her.
She could have sweetened it up by saying "por favor,"
Por
favor, amigo.
It is insulting. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say it's racist, but because I mean they probably have it with good intentions.
Yeah.
But
Let's say it's
just
race-ish.
Yeah, because they don't.
Race
Well, especially someone like a very traditional Chinese person.
Yeah.
They're not gonna see the racist part of it. They just like, oh, this is what they know.
Yeah.
This is so I'm gonna help them out. And that's their logic, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, it's still kind of, even then there's like no fine line because when I go to the nearest supermarket that's my place, it's strictly all like Latinos. Even the owner's white, but all the other employees are Latinos and they only speak Spanish. So it's like when you do see Asians trying to buy food, it's really even frustrating to me to see that even if they don't know how to talk in Spanish, that they just they can't really finish buying what they need to buy when you have to tell them this is how much money you're missing. Oh, you can't buy this, so you do realize this is how much this needs to weigh for this amount of price. So it sucks too. It's frustrating, but I mean that's what's up about it.
I don't know if there's the thing about people that don't know English much here in America, and there are people, the white people that would be like super offended by that, and like, hey, you gotta learn English. There's a fine line. You do need to know some in order to survive through this country.
But that you can only function in this country learning that language.
But here's an example. I was actually at Popeyes today. I ate out. Besides this, I was waiting in line, and then the Chinese guy who's ordering his food. You can tell he didn't really know anything, and so he would just say yes to any question of the cashier. Like, you want mild or spicy?
Yes.
Yeah. Spicy. Yeah. Okay. What side do you want?
Yes.
Yeah. In those moments, I guess you do need to know some English, but I don't know if you can't be forced to.
No, you can't.
Well, I've been on the other side of that, and sometimes if you don't understand the language, it's embarrassing to tell someone, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
You don't speak English good. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier to just kind of pretend like it's a normal conversation.
And it's not even here too. I mean, you'd be surprised even going out of this country, like specifically from Mexico for me, because when I go to Mexico, the first thing I was told was learn, like, you gotta make sure your Spanish is at least top notch or something like that. Because if they find out that you're American, they'll raise your prices for everything that you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And then they'll try to use you in some regard. But
I feel like they embrace their culture a lot.
Yeah.
There, Mexico, because I've heard that sometimes here in like LA, if you look Hispanic, but you're not, they get angry at you for not being that. Sometimes.
I think that has to do a lot with, like, for example, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If I were to meet Juan, and I were to, ask him, like, do you speak Spanish, and he were to say no to me, I would be like,
Why don't you speak Spanish?
why don't you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
And I feel like the problem with that isn't, oh my god, like, you really, like, you don't speak Spanish. I think it's, like, for us, it's more so of, wow, you lost your culture to try to become Americanized.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where people see the issue with it.
Yeah.
That, like, not like you want to fit in so badly, but you haven't even tried to, like, be in touch with your roots.
I think the most special thing for us as a Latino is that there's a lot of straight hardcore family values. And even then, for the person that you don't know as a Latino, like, again, if I had met you or something like that, if she had told me she didn't speak Spanish, I would be kind of betrayed by that too, because we just had this idea that for our own, like, culture and own, like, specifically that, it's like we all want to be united in some sense. It's going to be really weird to be like, oh, you've just been whitewashed. This is why you've been living here in the States for so long. Are you going to go eat Taco Bell every single day now instead of going to, like, the to the guy who sells, like, what's on the side or something like that? But and that's what's crazy about it. I think being in Mexico too, you realize even if you're a stranger to a Latino, they still at least want to treat you like family. Yeah, that's the coolest part about it. But then they also force that a little too much.
So murder.
Yeah, so murder.
So murder.
We kind of touched a little bit on it earlier on what we would do if we beat up somebody who was trying to, like, kidnap or something like that.
Yeah, because when we were bringing Vanessa on, the first thing that we thought, me and Juan, like, what can we talk about with Vanessa? Oh, she's, like, super dark. Let's just talk about when I first met her. Almost. When was that?
Like back in July.
Yeah, it was this. We were at work, and then we were coming down the stairs. We were coming down the stairs to go to work. And I just wanted to try out, like, sliding down the rail. And then I looked behind me. I was like, oh, I definitely could have fell right there. And she starts cracking up right then and there. The kind.
How rude!
The kind of where you can't breathe, you can't talk. She wasn't
Like,
able to say any words.
I sat down and cried.
She eventually said, like, you could have died. I couldn't, like, fathom who this person was. He just was hysterical.
Oh, I'm gonna miss saying hi to you guys like that.
No.
We're sad.
Yeah, we're very sad right
We're
now.
very sad.
We're all looking for a job.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys,
Hire us.
you guys could hire, like, how many? 40-ish people?
40, 30,
30.
30, something like that.
We're gonna talk about
Look.
some of our worst jobs.
Thanks, Trump. Yeah.
I blame Trump.
Yeah.
We're all looking for a job. What was you were talking to me about your jobs earlier? What was the worst one out of those, you think? Your worst job?
Okay, are we talking mentally?
Yeah.
Theater, 100%.
Working in the theater.
Yeah.
A film movie theater?
What?
Yeah.
Movie theater?
Yeah, she worked at the one in
Not
Grove.
not like a Shakespearean theater.
Maybe we should have mentioned the businesses right now.
Yeah, because I don't want to
No, I
get
won't.
sued by...
No, we're
We
not.
all worked at Blue.
We're not. But I'm just. She worked at a theater.
Yeah.
A movie theater.
Yeah.
Why was that so terrible?
It was just mentally exhausting.
Uh-huh.
I think just being around like so many people,
Yeah.
there's like a lot of change coming in and out. Like, oh, like we just hired like 10 people. You know, you have to like,
Yeah.
you know, get to know these 10 people. There's always, it was very high school, and that's why I hated it so much, because it was very.
There's a lot of kids that work there. Yeah.
It was very like cliques, groups.
Yeah.
Not only that, management just didn't care about your
Yeah.
well-being.
Yeah.
You know, long hours, like staying there until 2 o'clock.
Right.
That's
That's not normal.
not normal, especially when you're a student. That's very, very hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leaving at like 12 a.m. Like I did that for a semester where I left Sunday and it was like 12 a.m. and I had a 7:25 a.m. class.
Yeah. Yeah.
I passed, you know.
There you go.
It
Kudos
was-
to anybody who's going through that.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot to be studying and then working a
And then
shitty ass job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Politics too, I'm sure.
what-
Within the workplace.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about like
yeah.
management
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah. Favorites.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
speak for that because I haven't worked in a movie theater. I was this close to doing that, but people stopped me ahead of that. So thank God for them. Yeah, thank God for them. This was actually my first job, the one where I met you guys.
Oh,
yeah, for the past
right,
2 years,
right.
and then I actually did kind of work, but I wouldn't necessarily call it child labor because technically it's out of necessity. But I started working with my parents since I was like 10.
Right.
So we would go decorate at like hotels or like quinceañeras or weddings, stuff like that.
Right.
So that was my thing.
Yeah.
Even if I wasn't necessarily doing anything, like there were times where I would go to a hotel and just be like, okay, just help me put out these chair covers so then go back into the car because the hotel doesn't allow you to
Yeah.
be in here.
Yeah.
That was my deal.
Yeah.
You know, I would work with my dad 5 in the morning every single day. Even when I was in school, from middle school to high school, I would wake up 5 in the morning,
That's child
go to the bar.
abuse.
Yeah, it's a necessity. You were poor as hell. I couldn't afford a Happy Meal either. But that's how poor it was. Yeah, I couldn't afford a Happy Meal. So
Can't want a happy
yeah,
meal.
give me a Happy Meal, guys,
I
please.
think that, you know, a big part of having a terrible job is just hating the people within the job.
Yeah.
I won't say where we worked, but I think we liked most of everybody, and that's a
I've
luxury,
only-
really.
I've only worked there for like a short amount of time, and I honestly.
He said 6.
Yeah.
6 months.
And this is literally the best job that I've had, not only because, you know, the job is simple, but just the people, the energy. Not saying that just because you guys are here, but like, I honestly like appreciate how welcoming you guys were.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if it had anything to do, you know, but I think it did. You know, my brother worked there.
Oh.
But it was just.
No.
Nah, even when your brother wasn't there, it would just been like, you know, for any other person.
'Cause you're chill, you're
You're
chill.
chill. You're
Yeah, it was just that I really appreciate.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna miss that about the job.
Nah.
Well, the good news
the
is
people.
Here's the thing.
we're
like,
still
it-
allowed to hang out outside of work.
Yeah, it's
not
just
like
here's the thing. Like the reason our job. Yeah, man, we're gonna have a therapy session after this, guys.
The reason you want to come to work is because you don't hate anyone you work with.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing too, like just as a joke too, it's like there's really no getting away the fact that like if we were having problems with anybody, our building was literally within like 40 feet of each other. Like there's no way you could like talk shit about somebody, and you wouldn't even want to because you're like right next to that person.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this is why like you know I stayed for a total 2 years until seeing it end because I probably could have gone somewhere else, but you know I just like being with everybody.
Yeah, any job that I have after this is just gonna be bad.
Yes.
I'm not gonna like it. It's
Yeah.
gonna suck.
Yeah.
Because like this is the only job that I felt like I was actually that I looked forward to going to. Didn't mind going at all.
Yeah.
I've had jobs where I just don't want to go.
Yeah,
I'm
you're just
driving
like-
over there. I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
That's
But
how I
this-
used to feel at the movie theater. It's
Yeah.
just like God, like I.
This
hate these
I've
people.
never felt that way. I think ever.
And also,
Yeah,
I never really like working in places where there's customers you have to deal with. I always prefer being more
Right.
in a
Right.
separate kind of thing. But
Right.
it's always a pleasure to help people, teach them the ropes of the industry. And
For what
everything.
we were doing, yeah, because it was so new,
Mhm.
they didn't have an expectation of
Yeah.
what they would like it to be because they
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah, there was no like being demanding.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Because like. with
Because we're
the-
introducing it to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the only thing that made your day super shitty was just one person who came in through your doors, and then realizing that you could go ahead and just talk to the next person, your coworker, and everything will be cool.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
gonna be difficult.
It's gonna be very hard. You know,
Yeah.
this being my first job and then coming to the second one, it's gonna be very difficult. But
Just because this is the first job where I truly feel accepted, like as a person, where I could be myself with you
Well,
guys.
you're in
like
our
you guys,
mukbang.
Yeah,
we're
like
here.
She's in
look,
our
like I'm
mukbang.
here hanging out with them, and it's been only a couple of months. But I feel like like I could be my dark self. I could tell you
I
guys.
told the
something-
story. That was immediate.
I could tell you.
You're already
something-
laughing at my near.
I could tell you something depressing, and you're not
Yeah.
gonna look at me like, "What the fuck?" It's just gonna be like, "Oh, that's just Vanessa," and that's like
Yeah.
to me, that's me being comfortable.
We got lucky.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
lucky with a cool group of people.
Yeah.
value your coworkers, guys, especially the ones you're super cool with, because at the end of the day, when you're not gonna see them, you're gonna feel that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's some people that just won't see anymore.
Yeah.
Ever again.
Yeah. Man.
I hope I still see you guys.
Yeah. I'm sure you see it. There's some people I feel like aren't gonna make the effort.
We all should just cry.
Yeah. I know.
Well, guys, I mean, I left the job
Yeah.
a couple months back, and I can say life does go on,
Right.
and you can still see the people and hang out. They might give you a quizzical look, like,
Yeah,
"What
yeah,
the hell
yeah.
are you doing here?" But
Yeah.
they still accept you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that sad note. That very sad note.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
cheers.
time to end this thing.
If
Let's
you guys
toast.
know places that are hiring,
Yes.
let us know,
Again,
please.
We all
And,
have our perks. We all have our
Cheers.
If
expertise.
you need a hitman,
Yeah.
let me know.
Need someone to scratch.
I know people-
How
You
many?
need someone to like, just.
How many?
Bitch slap.
How many mukbankers do you give this food?
Out of how many?
Out of how many mukbangs?
We are ready right now. We're here. Like.
What's the scale?
79.
I give it a 69 out of 79.
All right.
Out of 79, you said?
Well, his was 79. Yours is
Okay.
gonna be 24.
Okay, out of 24,
Bonkers.
15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
The food or the
The-
That's still not that great.
No, the food. We're talking about the food. Like in general, all these items. I would go and just get fucking hot dog or pizza. That's it. But I
Right,
wouldn't
right,
like
right.
go all the time.
Vanessa, out of 38 McBonkers, what do you give it?
I'd give it approximately 21.
Blackjack.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Okay.
Passing. I think,
Yeah,
is it? I
it's
don't know.
passing. Yeah.
I'm not good at math.
I think it's barely passing.
And
Yeah,
out of pie, what
Yeah.
would you?
but a pie.
Because it's a pizza pie.
Yeah.
So 3.14.
He's talking about
No.
Out of how many slices you eat out of pizza? That's your whole rating. Eat the whole pizza, or how much would you eat?
Out of pie, I would give it apple strudel.
Nice.
There you go. Wow. Not something hard. That's not really something easy to come by.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, give us a
Patreon
rating,
is not
share it to
there.
your friends.
Yeah.
Be sure to
follow me on,
repost it.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Be sure to.
Are we gonna have our labels here?
Were you trying to get plugged? You gonna plug things in?
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'll plug my Instagram in. Follow me at lovelinessa 3s2a.
You.
Follow me guys on Facebook or Instagram.
Facebook, please.
Yeah, Facebook. You go to Instagram. Yeah.
Old man.
I'm 23, guys. Yeah, I'm really old. But yeah, follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. Just find my name. Not that hard to find it out.
El paletero man.
Yeah,
And
but
don't go to
watch
our-
me sell what this on your side of the street next couple days.
Don't go to our LinkedIn's, otherwise you'll find out what the job that we've been all mysterious about is.
You just had to go insinuate that. Yeah, they're gonna go first thing they're gonna go.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
where
yeah.
do they work?
Where do they live?
Plug
What
anything?
the hell?
I'm probably not gonna include any of this, but go ahead and
At Danny V Design. Slide into that DM.
slide in the DM.